Testing, testing, testing. Hello and welcome to StoryDev. My name is Luke, also known as TNRA, and it has been a while since I last did a video on this channel, as you can probably tell. Last video I did was on a thing called Story Creator, which I was working on using C# and WinForms. Now, as you can tell, I've taken a bit of a break from that because I need to focus on trying to get my website up to date. Now, if we were to go to that website, let's go here to storydev.co.uk. This is the website that is currently in existence. This is the sort of company website type thing, if you can call it a company at this point. Probably not. But the way that this website is currently updated is I literally just update files and then upload them to the server, which is less than ideal. It's not the best way to manage a website, as you can probably imagine. So that needs to change. I'm not using any backends like anything like WordPress or Joomla or anything like that. I'm not using a pre content management system. I've never used them before. I've used WordPress maybe once or twice in the past, but I'm not that kind of person to use those kinds of content management systems, mainly because I end up messing about with trying to install the content management system rather than actually managing any content. So this website needs changing. I mean, the actual looks is fine, but there will probably be a change to the look because what I'm actually working on, as you can see here, is a web studio, StoryDev Web Studio. I like to name my things with StoryDev. I have no idea why. Maybe it's because I like that name. Who knows? But anyway, so what am I doing? Why am I working on this thing? And what gave me the idea for it? Well, I've been a bit more active with the handmade community recently. For those of you who watch my channel on a regular basis, you probably come from the handmade channel and probably know me as Tianere on probably also the coffee chats as well every Thursday. And I plan on making myself a regular visit there. But aside from that, the actual idea behind Web Studio is to allow you to make a website and then be able to deploy that onto the web. Now, when it comes to website design, the way that websites are currently designed, as you are probably well aware, is we use HTML5 and CSS3. That's the typical way to design a website using those languages. I do not like those languages. Every time I have to work with HTML5 or CSS3, it frustrates the hell out of me. And the reason why it's so frustrating is because anytime you want to reposition an element on the screen in a different way, sometimes you have to add a different div wrapper, or you have to make sure that the parent of the element is of a position relative so that it's absolutely positioned correctly and other such things like that. And it's just a pain in the arse to deal with. There is more code that is put into HTML5 and CSS3 than there is in actually programming and actually getting stuff on screen, because it's cumbersome. It's really more designed as a content management format. It is not designed for anything else. That's what HTML is designed to do, for content, and that's it. That's pretty much what it is. It's a content delivery format in, to a certain extent. I mean, obviously, you have different ideas that people use HTML for, and obviously that can be expanded with CSS, but the primary use for HTML is to lay out content. that's what it's designed to do. It's not designed for anything else. So, as a result, it's fundamentally flawed um, for obvious reasons. Now, in order to fix that issue, there's a lot of people might say, well, let's use some kind of MVC framework, like that's basically model view controller, where you have your models, which are your database objects, and then your views, which are the things that represent something that needs to be displayed on the screen, or maybe, and then you've got your controller, which basically links the two together and does all the business logic behind the scenes, and um, that sounds good in terms of the human way of thinking, but computers don't think like humans. Strangely enough, they think like computers. So if you give a computer this really weird, contrived method of handling data, you end up with a website that ends up becoming slower and slower and slower over time. Um, and the web is fundamentally slow. You know, I can run frickin' Tomb Raider on this computer, maximum graphics at 60 frames per second, and a website takes 5 seconds to load. It's a joke. But anyway, enough of my ranting. And, you know, as you can see here, you can very clearly see I've got an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3070 in this machine. This machine, or any web browser installed on this machine, should have absolutely no problems rendering websites, but for some reason it still takes forever. But anyway, so what is Web Studio? Why will it exist? Why am I working on it? So Web Studio is the editor. This is going to be written in, as you can very clearly tell, Odin. And the actual backend, the thing that is going to be generated from this into an actual website, is actually going to be written in a language called Hax. Now, probably wondering, what is Hax? Well, for those of you who do not know, Hax is a transpiling programming language. It takes your Hax code, it actually compiles it, but then it also transpiles. So what it will do is it will take your code, it will do type checking, all that stuff that a normal compiler does. And then once it's done that, it will generate this tree, and then it will generate code that represents that tree in another language, like JavaScript, PHP, Python, C#, Java, C++, Lua, if I haven't already said that. It generates to a lot of different languages. And so there is a very big benefit with that. What's the benefit? You can target both client and the server at the same time using the exact same code base. Now, technically you can do that with JavaScript, but why use JavaScript? Nobody should in their right mind use JavaScript if you are a serious programmer. I'm sure a lot of people who work with JavaScript professionally will probably completely disagree with me on that, and I do not intend to create a language war, but there are some fundamental problems with JavaScript. We all know it was designed in 10 days, and it is technically a terrible language. There's no doubt about that. It is a terrible language. But that's what we're stuck with. So we can't really do much with regards to what we choose to use for the client. But what we can do is use a transpiler to make our lives just that slightly bit better. Now, Hax, unlike TypeScript, which also transpiles to JavaScript, unlike TypeScript, Hax also generates to PHP, as I mentioned. So we can use the same code base to work on server code, but we can take even a much better step further. Hax also has macros, also known as metaprogramming, which is basically compile time code. and we can use that to our advantage, especially on the web. So what does that ultimately mean? What it means is that you can make all of your data objects, or whatever you want to call them, your data structures, and feed that into a macro processor in Hacks. And you can basically tell Hacks to say, I want to generate these data structures for both the client and the server. And I want you to generate all the necessary functions so that I can communicate between the client and the server and just use those functions as you would expect to. What this means is that you only have macro code that generates the relevant information, the code, etc. And you don't have to do anything else. You don't have to change your code. If you make a small change to your data structures, it will automatically update on both the client and the server. And that is a very, very big benefit. Obviously, I'm not going to be showing that today. I'm actually going to be showing Web Studio and the progress of it. As you can see, there's a couple of rectangles on the screen, which isn't very fancy. So we will be doing quite a bit of coding in this session. Just to also mention, the Web Studio, as I mentioned earlier, I will just emphasize it again. This is going to literally just be to design websites using another tool that I've used. Why is that frozen? It stopped responding. Oh dear. Why has it stopped responding? Huh. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Alright. I did not know it was going to cause problems. Let's just end task. That's you. Right. Sorry about that. But anyway, if we go back here and we go to GitHub and we take a look at, where are we? This one. TwinSpar core, that's something that I've been working on as well. So this is the hacks thing that I was talking about. So we'll take a look a little bit into this, but basically the idea is TwinSpar is this core sort of framework, you could call it, is basically designed to be the back end to generate all of this. And my phone is going off. What is going on? Right. Anyway, before that slight interruption. So, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, core. My apologies. So, yes. Basically, our editor is going to generate hex codes based on what we have here. And so we will take what we've got in this context and transform it into a website that can be deployed and usable on the web. So like I said, this is going to generate that, and there may be options in the future to connect to a database, although I suspect that will mostly be a code thing since it's going to be macro based. But we'll see. I will see how this project unfolds. So I should probably take a look into the issue that was being generated just then. Let me just double check. Web Studio, we open it up, we try to close it. Oh, that's fine. That's bizarre. I don't know what's going on there. Is that the case just because it was up for a bit long? Was that the reason why? It shouldn't be the reason why. But anyway, so this is where I'm at the moment. So let's reopen it and have a look. So This in the middle is kind of like a canvas where you would technically edit things, and then here at the top you would have kind of like a menu bar of some description where you'd have some options, you know, design all of your pages and stuff like that. So just to demonstrate, and there might be a couple of more options up here in the other corner, but yeah, that's basically where we're at the moment. So I was in the middle of working on this thing, Object Explorer Render. And what I'd need to do is be able to manage all of the sort of dimensions that exist on screen. So I've got this API here called Dimensions. This is basically copied from TwinSpar Core. This entire thing is copied from this class here, TwinSpar Core. Almost everything, apart from the groups thing, that doesn't even work anyway. Didn't even know why it's there. But I've copied all of that into here. There is a potential problem with this, is that the Dimensions API expects to know the sizes and the positions of things already. I think when it comes to the web, that might be okay, or just, should I say, web layouts, because technically we are designing on the fly, so this probably makes more sense than, say, something like a DRM GUI style approach. So this will be somewhat semi-retained, let's say. So some parts will be kind of immediate mode, and then other parts won't be. We'll see. So we have this top menu bar, and we have a web canvas render. We have an update loop, which we're not using just yet. Our Objects Explorer render, which we have nothing in. Web canvas render, that's rendering the thing in the center of the screen, using the Dimensions API for that. The top menu bar using Raylib to create all of these, the gradients and the rectangles and stuff like that. This is not the best code for generating point-to-point-to-point gradients. I understand. This is why I was going to do this, but I will probably do that later off recording. So we've got top menu bar. I am going to go back up here, and basically I am going to have some kind of sidebar to the left hand side of the canvas, demonstrating sort of kind of like a tree view of dimensions or components that exist within our website or web page that we're working on. So let's first start by just drawing the frame. So first thing I'm going to do is just have a sidebar. Let's say we're going to create a dimension from that. So I'm going to say dim. I'm going to make this 0, 0 for the time being. That's the position, followed by the size, so width and height. So I'm going to make that an F32. So cast get render width. This I actually had to add into the binding of Raylib because for some reason it doesn't exist. And we'll just say 0. Let's say 3. Actually, you know what? I'm going to make it a fixed width of 350. And F32 are now get render height, and I'm going to multiply that, let's say, by 0.4. Do I really have to cast F32 as well? I'm assuming so, considering I've got this here. So I'll do that. And there's another parameter here called order, but we don't use that yet. So I want to position this to do we have a screen align? Yes, we do. Screen align. Which one is it? I'm thinking it's X, but I can't be sure. Oh, go away. Screen align. There we are. What are we doing here? That's horizontal line. Yeah, that's what I want. In the middle. In the middle. So we'll do screen align X. That's that sidebar in. And we are going to go middle. And we're not going to have an offset. And I'm just going to fill these are all dims, right? Yes. Fill rect. Oops. Fill rect. I'm just going to give it a color of white. Actually, I think I can just do this, can't I? Followed by our sidebar. And don't do that. What? Don't do that. What we're doing? I'm not typing in hacks or C# or C or C++ or any other language that supports semicolons. Not that this language doesn't. It likes to want you to not use semicolons, I think. And I don't actually have a draw rect type thing going on here. So I'll do that. Draw rectangle lines, I believe. Look. Relib. Let's draw rectangle lines. Yeah, that's right. Followed by color. Yeah. Cool. So I'll just do that then. Draw rect. Nope, wrong place. Draw rect. Or I'll let's just make that blue for now. Excuse me. So I'll pass in that state there, and let's just take a look, see what it looks like. Let's see. Web Studio. So we've got this. Oh, it's not centering in the screen. In the middle. Which is what it's meant to do. So what's going on there? Interesting. What am I doing wrong? Screen align X code not working properly. H line, middle. Oh, is that dereferencing not working? Can I not dereference that like that? Is that the reason why? Center screen Y. X. Oh. Wait, what? What am I doing? This doesn't look right. Hold on a minute. That should be X. That should be Y. What was I doing there? That did not make any sense. Maybe that was the reason. Although I have a feeling. Oh, no, never mind. Okay, it's broken now. It's fine. Okay, so that's cool. So I think eventually what we probably want to do is be able to or kind of make that opaque when we're not moving over it, I suppose. But we will probably move on to that a bit later. Draw lines. I think I'd like that line a bit thicker. Let's see. How do we do that? I think that's actually draw lines EX, is it not? Draw rect. Line. And then I will just put in thickness as a flip. I keep thinking I'm writing in a different language. Okay, so what's this? Look. Draw lines EX. So we've got a line thickness. Oh, and a rectangle as well. It wants a rectangle. All right then. We'll put thickness here. And what is our rectangle definition? I have no idea. It's going to be up here somewhere, isn't it? Rectangle, 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 rectangle. Where are you? Here we are. F32. Ah, okay. Cool. Fair enough. So in that case then, all I need to do is this. And that would be RL.rectangle dim.x, dim.y, dim.width, dim. Basically the same structure. Is it? No. No, it's not quite exactly the same structure. There is an order value in dim. So I could have passed in dim in theory. Although this isn't C, so it might work in C perhaps, but not necessarily. Although I suppose if you cast it, wouldn't. Yeah. No, I'm not going to worry about that now. Let's not try and be clever. Yeah, that's draw rect. What was it? No, call that something else. Let's call that draw rect with strength. No, let's call it thickness. Why not? Draw rect with thickness, and I will put that here. And I'm going to make that say 4. Let's have a look at that now. Yeah, that's all right. It's all right. I think I would like to make the height a bit bigger though. The default width and height, I think, should be different. Let's have a look. Still, I mean, that's large already, technically, but this is a 4K screen, I suppose. Let's make this. I'm just gonna guess here, 2,400 by 1,000. 500 or something, I don't know. Something like that. Just to make it so that when we actually loads the application, it actually looks reasonable. Okay, that's a bit better. Right. So let's put a title up there. I actually quite like that blue color. Raylib. So that's good. So what I'm now going to do is say fill rect rl.blue. How shall I do this? What I'm going to do, say sidebar name panel or something like that. I don't really know. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So that's just going to be the default for now. All I'm going to do is say sidebar. No, I'm not. I'm going to say actually I'll at least make the width same as sidebar.width here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say sidebar. No, I'm not. I'm going to say dim line sidebar in our side panel name, and I'm going to align that to the, I think it's, what is it, the align, let's have a look. V-align and horizontal align, so that needs to be center and middle. Let's actually give it a height, that might be a good idea. 30. And then make that sidebar name panel there. Let's have a look. I always like to just take a look every single time. Oh. I'm being stupid. Why am I being stupid? That's not going to work. Don't be stupid. Come on. Well, H line for the middle. Dim H line, and our sidebar panel name is in fact got a Y position that is the same as our sidebar. And also another thing I don't do is actually do this first. So that might be useful. There we go. Problem solved. Oh, what's this? Cannot assign spelling sidebar. Oh, I'm being stupid. I was being daft. Right, that's a bit better. It's not large enough though. Well, I'm going to make this maybe a 40 pixels high. And another thing I'm going to do here is draw some text. So that would be nice. We'll say rl.draw string. I think it's string. Or it might be draw text. Give me a moment. Draw text. Text. It is draw text. It is draw text. And it needs to be a C string as well. So we probably need to deallocate that. Draw text EX. I'll stick with that one for now. So we'll go draw text EX. And what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to say well, I suppose what actually, can I just do C string like this? I don't know. we'll take a look. We've got C here. C dot C string. Oh no, it's a native type anyway. Oh dear. Okay. I need the font first. Regular fonts. We'll just use that for now, and that needs to dereference. And we'll say, um, object tree. Why not? Followed by a position. Oh, that vector two. Ooh. That is a good point, actually, thinking about it. I do have get text dim. What do I do there? Get text dim. So we have a text, which takes a string, a font, and a font size. We'll do that. So what I'll do is actually, you know what? I don't like what I'm doing here. Now that I think about it, I don't like this clone to C string. So if I'm doing it here, then there's no point doing it twice. I'm just going to make that C string. So just use the C string directly. I know it's supposed to interface to C code normally, but I think that's just easier. These purposes. And then what I'll do is, so I'll take this object tree, name text, object tree, like that. And I'm just going to say name text dim, name text cstr, strings dot clone to C string. For delete that, followed by, do we really want, so much point doing that every frame. Don't know how slow that would be. We'll see. We shall see. Name text dim, get text dim. We're going to say is name text. What was the other one? Even though I'm having to remember my own code. Font and font size, and that actually needs to be the name text cstr, followed by our font, which is going to be in our state, so that'll be regular fonts. Reference that. Oh wait, did I? Oh, that's already a pointer, never mind. What font size should I use? Let's go 26. And we will get our position from that. So what I'll now do is say dim align. We want to align sidebar name panel, or we want to align name text dim to sidebar name panel. That makes sense. And it was center first and middle. And then we'll use name text.x, name text.y. There. what was the next one? Font size 26, spacing 0. And our color, which we're just going to call white. How does that look? Assuming I haven't done anything wrong. Whoa. Oh, strings. Of course. Import strings, which is core strings, I think. Right? Yeah. Cannot assign value name text of type string. Wait, what? 90. What am I doing? Oh. Name text dim is what I meant. Do that. Using argument and conversion C string. Oh. Pay attention, come on. Vector 2 is what I meant there. And then I think we will all be good. Almost. Name text dim, come on. What's wrong with me? What's going on? What's going on? Right, there we go. We will get there eventually, won't we? Right, so we got object tree. Ooh, text looks a bit weird. Is it me, or does that text look a bit fragmented? It doesn't look quite right, does it? I tried this before, actually. I was wondering maybe it was because of the fact that there was something wrong with Raylib. Or is that intended behavior? Are you supposed to use a different shader? I have no idea about shaders. No idea whatsoever. So I might have to go away and investigate that and see if there's a better way to render text, because that doesn't look quite right to me. You know, compared to everything else you see on the screen, that shouldn't be rendering like that. But I will look at that off recording. So the next thing I'd like to now do is have some way to add a dimension. So I am going to create some kind of button, which is literally just going to be some text. String. And I'm going to follow that with a dim. So literally all I'm going to do is say first of all, I'm going to convert it to a C string, so C value. Strings, clone to C string, text. Next, I'm going to say active, and I don't think I have an S mouse over dim, or do I? No. I do not. It is mouse over dim. Eventually this will take into account things. Eventually this will take into account the order of dimensions. I needed to finish coding in order to end that sentence. I don't know why. But anyway, So in here, I'm going to say result, and it's as simple as get mouse position, leave mouse. I'm just going to say mouse dot x is greater than x, mouse dot x. Very simple stuff, really. Don't really need to record this kind of thing, but why not? Mouse dot y less than y plus height. And then return the result, please. Thank you. Is mouse over dim. Very simple, just like that. And what I'm going to do, I think our back color initially is going to be blue, like the rest of the frame. But when we are active and our mouse is down, was it? There is a get mouse position, right? Yes. And is mouse button down, followed by our mouse button. Is, so yeah, is mouse button down, left. Then we'll have our back color be equal to our old color. What is the actual color of blue? That's a good point. What is the actual color of blue? Where is it? It is that 0121241. Get a trusty color picker out. Trusty one. Brave search could be better, but it's not. What was the values again? There we are. So blue 0121241. 0121241. So that's the blue that we currently have. Darken that when we've got our mouse down. 094,188. 094,188. Otherwise, if we're active, just active, then we're going to brighten it. Yeah. 84,165,247. Felt right dim once again. With our back color. I think it's the other way around actually. It's the other way around. And then RL, we need to give a font to this. Font RL.font and font size. Actually, no, let's give it a font size. Give it font size, and this will be draw tax dx, Can't I always forget what I'm supposed to actually do. Font text. So C value. Position. Type it incorrectly this time. Don't be stupid. Am I stupid? Am I? Now go away. Why is this happening to me? Let's go back up here a minute. Where did... Right. I'm just going to use this. Easier. Just copy and paste that. And then we'll say call a C value dim. Why not? C value. Regular fonts. Oh, fonts even. Font size. And guess what I'm going to do? Dim a line. That's right. Dim. C value dim. Followed by center, middle, and yeah, C value dim.x, C value dim.y. Quite a bit of boilerplate, but once we've got through all of this, development will get a bit faster. We will need font size, spacing, and tint once again. Font size, spacing 0, and our color, which is going to be, let's just stick white for now. Ah, what are you doing? Caps lock, go away. And finally, we're going to return active and is our mouse released? Is mouse button released? Left. There we go. Oh, and another thing too is we're gonna do this thing. We're gonna do this thing, right? This is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do this if temp and we're gonna say oh, hold on. I can't do it. I can't. Well, I can, but there's no way to tell the state that we've clicked on a button without actually passing in the state itself, unless we pass in a separate variable into button, which just doesn't seem right. Never mind. I will figure that out later. I will figure that out later. So, what I was going to do now was just say here if so what I'll do is I'll create This is probably the problem with this dimensions API is you have to create dimensions every single time you want to add something onto the screen, which is less than ideal. But we can make it slightly easier for ourselves by doing something like this. And or is it worth it? Is it worth it? You know what? I'm just going to do this. Create button dim, which is going to be basically a clone. No, it's not. What I'm actually going to do is this: dim, v-line, offset. Create button dim, bottom, and 0. I think. All right. Is that right? Did I do that correctly? Did I do that correctly? A, B, vertical line, offset. Yes, I did. Wow. Amazing. I actually remember my own API. That's crazy. If button, so once we've done this, then we can just pass in, say, you know, our state dots, regular fonts, dereference that. Like the text size, let's say 23 or 22, something like that. Actually, I do need to at least give a height and a width of this. So I will say this is just going to be the sidebar name panel. Dot width divided by 2, or something like that. And 30. So we've got our button, which takes a font size, text, and our dim. Create button dim. Not that one, that one. Do something with this for now. Alternatively, what I could do is say FMT printer. Button clicks. Just to make sure it works. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But we shall see. Right. Have a look. Oh yeah. Huh? Button does not return a value. What are you talking about? It does. Oh. Might help to do that. What else was it complaining about? And yeah. Do this FMT core FMT. Actually, I don't even need to do that. Let's do that. And I don't need to do that either. Do that. Too few arguments for is mouse over dim. Expected 4 got 1. Huh? Well, supposed to be. Oh, don't be stupid. Dim. And use dim.x. Dim.x. Dim.width. That's why I called it is mouse over dim. Wake up, will you? Right. Cannot assign font to type font. What was that? What have I done? Oh. Like that. Am I going mad? What's this? It's a pointer. Yeah. Right. And I'm passing in the address. Oh, I'm looking. Wait, what? What am I doing? Am I doing something wrong here? Am I overthinking this? Cannot take the pointer address of font. The procedure parameter. What? So you mean I can't use that? No, wait, hold on. Let me read that again. Cannot take the pointer address of font, which is a procedure parameter. And that font is a pointer to a font, which we then dereference again. Or this is going to be like C now, isn't it? Or is it? I mean, I don't understand pointers. Maybe I just don't understand pointers all that much in Odin. That's not going to work, is it? That's just a... Can't do pointer arithmetic like that. No. Yeah, I'm not being stupid. So... I get... Okay, so in that case then, that needs to be a pointer. That's going to have to dereference. And then up here... Oh yeah, because I'm dereferencing that, aren't I? Oh wait, no, that's got nothing to do with it. Shh. You didn't hear what I just said. Right. That fixes that problem. Okay, so that's just pass x like that, x, y, y. Right. Right then. Here we are. So we got button create. We click on it and it says button clicked. Cool. We don't apply padding there, but that doesn't really matter. At least it's working. That's the main thing. I'm going to leave it here. I think it's been just over an hour for this video. So in the next video, I think it would be a good idea to actually start adding dimensions on to the web canvas and be able to modify their sizes and stuff like that. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and maybe I will see you tomorrow or some other day or never at all. No, I will continue this series, don't worry. Okay, thank you for listening. Goodbye.